Hello all, welcome to CloudForce Training Institute. Today we are going to discuss about EBS volumes. In this session, we will learn what is EBS, why EBS is required, how to attach the EBS volumes to the server, how it works, what are the life cycles of EBS volume, and what is snapshot, what is the difference between snapshot and EBS volume, and how to resize the EBS volume, how to mount the additional EBS volumes to the server. These are we are going to discuss in this session. EBS Volume is a storage service that provides the storage to your instance. Consider your laptop is a EC2 instance and hard disk, whether it is SSD or HDD, whatever, consider that is a EBS volume like C drive. Okay, and operating system, whatever it is, like Windows, Linux, or Mac, anything. So if you restart your laptop, the file stay in your laptop because those are stored in hard disk. Similarly, if you restart EC2 machine, the file should be remain same. So for this, we have to use EBS volumes. If you see how EBS volumes works, so this is a consider this is a EC2 instance. These are the EBS volume. You can attach multiple volumes to the EC2 machine. Why we are using this EBS volume? To store OS files, application data, user data, and logs, and many other files which required. So any data we can store in EBS volumes. So when it comes to why EBS volume, the server does not only require CPU and RAM, right? It also required storage. Same kind of our laptops to store our data. That might be operating system, OS, application data, user data, and any other logs related to application. Those we will store in EBS. There are two types of storages are available. One is permanent storage, another one is instance storage, nothing but temporary storage, or you can also call ephemeral storage. So using the EBS volume, we can persist in the data. But if you use any ephemeral storage, we will lose the data post reboot of your server. But if you use any EBS volume, you can retain the data. Post termination of server, nothing but EC2 machine, we can save the data unless before you are terminating the EC2 machine, you can detach the EBS volume. So that same EBS volume we can attach to any new servers. But if you use any ephemeral storage devices, you will lose the data permanently. So we can attach and detach to the EC2 machine. We cannot detach the EC2 machine if you use any ephemeral storage devices. So snapshots are also supported in AWS EBS volumes, but ephemeral storage devices, it will not support the snapshot. Snapshot is nothing but the EBS volume backups at particular moment. Okay, this is the performance is high, and this is also performance is very high. This is small difference between permanent storage and instant storage. So how EBS works, you know guys already. So you have to attach the EBS volume once you create it. So you have to attach to the EC2 instance. So once it is attached, you are able to access the EBS volume. Then you can copy the data. There are two types of EBS volumes, nothing but root devices and additional volumes. Means root device is nothing but when you are creating any EC2 machine, it will create by default. Okay, and additional volumes means we have to create the EBS volumes and attach to the EC2 instance. Now let's see practically how it is. You can see my existing server. Go to the storage. Here you can see one volume is attached to the server. You can see slash dev slash sda1 is the one, that is the root device name. So without root device, we cannot log in into the server. Do you want to try that one? Let's see. I am selecting another server. Go to the storage. Click here. Copy this one. Select this one. You have to detach the volume. Before detach the volume, you have to stop the server. Now go to the server. You can also get here. Go to the server. Select this one. Stop the instance. Let it stop. My server is stopped. Going to storage and click on the value. Select this one. Just refresh. Detach the value. Refresh it. So earlier it is in used. Now it is in available state. Go to the instances. Cloud 1. This is stopped, right? Just refreshing the page. You can see there is no storage devices. Now I'm starting the instance. You can see it is failed to start the instance because instance does not have the volume attached at the root. That means slash dev slash sda1, because all the OS related information will store in the root device. So if you don't have those configuration details, you cannot able to log in into the server. Okay, I'm terminating the server because I'm not using anymore this one. So I'm deleting. So I have only one server now. So we can use that one. Now we will create the new EBS volumes and we will attach to the existing server. Okay. Come to the EC2 dashboard and click on the EBS volumes. Create here. Click on the create volume. We will see one by one. Volume types, size, IOPS, everything we will see one by one. As of now, I am creating with some 12 GB of data. Sorry guys, I'm creating one more value. Before going to create, we need to consider one key thing, the availability zone. For example, my server where I have launched in AP South 1A. So the EBS value which you need to attach, right? That one also you have to create in same availability zone. Then only you are able to attach the EBS values to the instance. So I'm selecting 1A only. I'm creating one more 100. Selecting 15 GB. Let me delete the available one, otherwise I will get the charge. Which one? This is 10 GB one. Let's refresh once. So I require this one need to delete and this one need to delete. This is first one is for old server one. I'm deleting these values and confirming. I'm deleting. So I have only one existing EBS value, that is for root device, and another one is which I created now. Now select this one means which is available, that one you have to select. Go to attach the volume. Now select the EC2 instance. You can see test EC2 instance is, and you can see the instance ID also 585C9C. You can confirm with the instance ID. So device name. So slash dev slash SDA1 is the root device which is already in use. Now I'm selecting slash dev slash SDB. So now we will log in into the server. I have logged into the server. I am giving df-h command. So these are the devices. You can see 3GB. I mean these are the devices is available. These are all the root devices slash dev slash NVMe 0 N1 P3 like this. So size is 9.8. So that is a root device we have taken like 10 GB. So in around 9.8 GB we have used around 3 GB. So available is 6.9. So used percentage 31. So root device always mounted as a slash. We will see what is mount point everything. But I have added but I have added 15 GB of data. I don't see anything here, anywhere here. Okay, to see that you have to execute lsblk is the command. You can see, right? It is able to see. So once you mounted this 15 GB one, then only you are able to access this 15 GB EBS value. Now come to EBS dashboard. Both are in use. For going to mount the additional volume, we will see what are the information available in the root device. So root device always mounted as a slash, nothing but the root directory. It's a top level directory. Go to root directory. You can see slash. Now ls I'm giving. So these are the some mount points available here. So we will see one by one what are these. So first thing, cd slash. So this is the top level directory. It is a parent directory for the all other directories. It is also called as a root directory. It represents as a forward slash. Here cd slash. So it will, you can go to the root directory. Okay. So under this we have multiple mount points. So here we have cd slash root. We will see one by one. cd slash root. It's a permission denied. Let me log in into the sudo. Okay. I'm going to cd root. cd root is the home directory for the root user. Nothing but the super user. It provides the working environment for the root user. Let's see any files are created by default. Some files are created here. Okay. Means I have used this. So with the root user. So I have created, these are the files with the root user and cd home, cd slash home. It is a home directory for the other users, nothing but the local users. You can see what are the users we have created. EC2-user and Shiva is the user we have already. So for them, while creating these users, it automatically creates the home directory for them. If you create any new user, it will also create. You can see here user and cloud-1. I'm sorry, user and cloud-1 is the username. Now I'm giving ls-l in the home directory. You can see cloud-1 is created for the local user. Now we will see boot. So it contains the bootable files for the Linux server. Some, if you want to reboot the server, those information, it will be stored in the boot directory. You can see in the grub2. You can see here grub.config file. Boot information you can see here. This is the some information related to boot. Now we will see cd/etc/etc. So it contains all configuration files. You can see here. So SSH, SSD, SC-Linux, RPMs. These are the pre-installed softwares. Those configuration files are already stored in /etc/password. You can also see we have installed the Datadog in last classes and some other like HTTP also. We can also see those configuration files in the /etc/etc Datadog-agent. You can see the configuration file here. Datadog.yaml is the configuration file for the Datadog. Like this, configuration file for the any service will store under /etc. Now, yes sir. By default, softwares are installed in ESR directory. There is some information in ESR/bin. Let's go to /bin. What are they available? So these are the some bin files for the existing or predefined softwares. So by default, softwares are installed in ESR directory. So now we'll see /opt. It is optional directory for the /user. So it contains third-party softwares. You can see Datadog-agent is we have installed, so that is present in the /opt because this we have installed it. So that's why it is stored in /opt directory. So there is one more file, a bin. So it contains commands used by the all users, and we have also sbin. It contains the commands used by the only super user. And we have /dev also. So it contains device related files like /dev slash you can see right /dev nvme. So this type of file system information it stores in the /dev. And we have proc also. It is very important one. So it contains the process related files. So content is here. The content is not permanent. They keep changing the values because that's why it is called as a virtual directory as well. Because file contains useful information, it will change. So you can also see the memory information, CPU related information in proc. Okay. Here you can see CPU info, mem info. So how much CPU is using the current system and how much memory is utilized. So those we can see from the proc directory. We have also MNT folder. So here the default mount points for any partition it will store here, and media we have. Where is this? Yeah, media. So it contains all removable media like CD-ROM, pen drive, those type of information is available here. We have library files also. So here it will store the library files which are used by the OS. So these are the primary information used in the root directory. This is the root directory we have attached to the server as /dev/sda1, and this is the additional one. but additional one we have not able to use in the server because we have just added to the server, but you have to mount it. Before going to mount the additional volume in the server, you should know what is file system. So file system, it is the method of storing the data in organized format. So you can store the data like it might be files, images, videos, whatever. Okay, so it is a method of storing the data. Nothing but you can say directory also file system. In the C drive, if you see, you have multiple directories. You can also call it as a file system. So what are the different types of available in the different types of file system available in the Linux? So we have ext2, ext3, ext4, xfs. ext2 and ext3 are outdated. Currently, ext4 and xfs is the new trend. So these vfat, cdfs, these are related to Windows machines. So ext4 mostly nobody is using now. So xfs is the current trend one. Okay. So based on the performance, we have to select the ext4 or exfs. So before that, you have to know what is mounting. Before mount, we have to know what is mounting. In order to access the files, for example, in the C drive, I need to access the some files. Okay, some files. Like I'm going to inside the users directory. So because means I'm able to access in the server also. I can go to root directory. I can go to /dev directory. I can go to slash usr 1000. I can do any operation here because these are all mounted. So in order to access the files or file system, we have to mount it. So you can see here attaching a directory to the file system in order to access the partition, and it's a file system known as a mounting. So there are two types of mounting in the Linux. One is temporary mounting, another one is permanent mounting. So in the temporary mounting, we have to use this command mount and options, device name and directory name. And there is a disadvantage of temporary mounting. So once you mounted temporarily post tribute of your server, those mount point will gone. But if you use permanent mounting in the /etc/fs tab, so there we have to enter the some values related to mount information or device information. Then post tribute also the data will be present in the particular mount point. We will see those also the difference between temporary mounting and permanent mounting. So come to the server. lsblk is the command to list the blocks, means devices. You can see here NVMe01. Okay, the size of the device 10 GB. These are the partition under these. We will also see LVM partitions. So NVMe 1N1 is the additional block storage which we attached with 15 GB. Okay, these are mounted as a part of slash. Okay, means slash is nothing but root device. Now we will mount the additional device as well. So once you attach the new volume to the server, we have to log into the server and see whether it is reflecting or not. We have to use lsblk command. So before you have to create the or mount the existing, additional volume, you have to create the one file system. So this is a Linux concept, guys. So to create the file system, you have to use this command mkfs, make file system. Okay. If you want to create ext4 version, you have to use ext4. Otherwise, you have to use xfs. Okay. /t is the command. xfs /dev. Every mount information stored in /dev. Okay. Now you have to give the device information NVMe 1N1. Now the additional EBS volume in the server. So the advantages of mounting, we can able to access the particular directory. Okay. So to mount it, we have to create the first file system. mkfs make file system. Then .xfs. xfs is the file system type. /dev and this one device name NVMe1N1. Okay, enter. You can see this is a output, you got it. So file system is created. Now we have to create the directory. Let's suppose I'm taking the /data as a directory. Now I'm going to mount this one. Okay, to mount it, we have a command mount NVMe 1N1 NVMe 1N1 then directory name /data. Okay, now if you see df-h, you can see /data. Now I can do the operations like cd. I can go to the /data. I can do any operation on this, like creating the files, creating the directories. So like this, I can do the any operation inside the files directory. Okay, this is the main advantage of the mounting. As said, we have two types of mounting options. One is temporary and another one is permanent one. So temporary mount points will store in mtab /etc/mtab. You can see here cat /etc mtab /dev /nvme1n1 device name and /data. It is there in the mtab file. To make it permanent, we have to give the entries in the fs tab. So the disadvantage of temporary mounting, after rebooting your server, the mount point will gone. So your data will also be lost. So to make it permanent, we have to give the entries in the fs tab. To make entries in the fs tab, there is some scenarios, like we have to enter some values like device name, mount point, file system type, mount option, and this one defaults we have. I'll show you in now, and this I will show you. Okay, instead of device name, sometimes what will happen is sometimes there will be a mismatch error. So to avoid this, instead of device names, we are going to take the UUID values. So every device have the UUID, unique one. Okay, so to get it, we have a command to get it. plk id /dev nvme 1 and 1. So this is the UUID. Let me copy to the notepad. Now open the fstab entries. For this, the command is vi/etc fstab. We are opening the fstab file. Now we have to enter the values of the particular device. So instead of device name, we are giving the UUID and mount point. Next option is mount point. So on which mount point we have used /data is the mount point. And then file system type, we have taken XFS. Then defaults and 00. So now what are these 0 and 0? When it comes to first 01, first option, whether you can keep 0 or 1. So 0 means it will not take the backup during the reboot of your system, and 1 means it will take the backup using dump command. Okay, and for the second 0 you can keep 0, 1 or 2. So what are those means? 0 means it will not check the file system during the reboot of your system. If you keep 1 instead of 0, it will check the root file system first, then it will check the file system. If you keep the 2, first it will check the other file systems, then it will check the root file system. So if you keep 1 other than the 0, the reboot time will take more time because it needs to check the file system and it needs to check the backups. Okay, it will take some time. So I'm saving the file. To save the file, we have to use :wq exclamatory mark. Enter. You can see the cat fstab entries. You can see the details here. Okay, UUID, the device UUID, and mount point, and file system type, defaults 0 and 0. Okay, so this is how we are mounting permanently. Even though system is rebooted, the /data will be remain same. Means it will exist. So data we will not be lost. So now we can see /data size is 15 GB. So after some time, there was a requirement. Consider we require we need to increase the size of this particular value. So how to do this? For example, we need a requirement to extend till 25 GB. So go to the server, storage, select the 15 GB one, select this value, go to the actions, modify the value, extend to 25. Okay, and modify. You can do it online, means you no need to stop the server to extend the value. Now go to the server. Now see dff-h. You can see still it is 15 GB only. Even if you give the lsblk, you will get some details, like here it is showing 25, but here showing 15 GB. So lsblk shows the block device size. It reads the device size from the operating system. dff-h shows the file system size. The file system has not been expanded yet. Now we have to format it. To format it, there is a command. Since we are using the XFS file system, there is a command XFS growfs /data. You need to give the device name. Okay. change it from, you can see here data blocks change it from some GB to some other bytes. Sorry, not in GB, it's in bytes. Now you can see DFF and H, it is showing 25. So like this, we can extend the additional values when it is required.
Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more videos. See you in the next session.